Good morning, Flosstube. It's Helen D. Happy Friday. Today is November 30th. Already. I don't know where this year went. It flew by. I don't believe we're almost already into December. This was a fast year. I think we got a lot accomplished this year, but it went by really, really fast. So, good morning. I have a Dino cup today, so I'll try not to spill water on myself. I already had my coffee. So I was planning on today, I'm like, oh, I have all my stuff together. I want to do my video. My son needs to go to school. He went to school at 8 this morning because they had chorus rehearsal before school. So I'm like, oh, I'll drop him off and then I'll come take my shower and get my video. And then I wanted to do some finishing today. And I thought I'd do that while it uploads because, you know, that's an hour and a half process. So I get in the shower and I get out of the shower. I hear all this noise. I'm like, what are those cats into? And then I see the cats cowering in fear. So I'm like, well, it's not the cats. Peek out the window. The gutter guys were here. We've been waiting on the gutter guys because our gutters needed some work, to say the least. When we scheduled our, we found a company and scheduled it, and they said, well, we'll wait until the leaves have fallen, and that way you get all of this year's leaves, gone with everything else. Great. Except snow started falling before the leaves all fell, so then they were behind. Hi, Emmy. She's a little worked up from the gutter guys. So they did their best this morning. He popped in and told me he got the front where the sun is, but in the back, some of them were still frozen. So he said, we're going to pop back around this afternoon and try and get the rest. But the front ones were the worst one anyways. We had like grass growing out of them. So those probably look nice. I haven't been outside. So instead of doing my video first thing, I did laundry and dishes and all of that fun stuff. But there's the laundry. I don't know if you can hear it. But they're gone for now until the sun shines some more. It's gorgeous out today. We've had 3 snow days already. It's not even December. 2 of them, I would think we could have gone, but that's not my call to make, and I know they have to keep everyone safe. So 3 snow days in November. It's going to be a long winter. It'll be a repeat of last year. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving, everyone here in the U.S. last week. We did. We had kind of 2 Thanksgivings. I've got a little sun on my glasses today. I always have sun on my glasses, but it seems a little brighter today. We went to a friend's house on Thanksgiving Day. She was doing Friendsgiving, so we had turkey and everything there. And then Donna and her family came down here over the weekend because they were at her in-laws. So they came down here over the weekend and we had a big lunch here with the kids. So that was nice. We miss having my mom here for Thanksgiving. They've been going to Florida 4 years. It's been a while. You always miss it more at the holidays. So when I talked to my mom, I said, we really should just do Thanksgiving in October before you leave. She said, yeah, we'll do Canadian Thanksgiving last year, which is in October. We're French Canadian, we're close enough, so next year we might do Canadian Thanksgiving. Because even if I had made it from scratch, which I did not, my stuffing is not my mom's stuffing. We miss her stuffing. So next year, Canadian Thanksgiving, we'll have her stuffing. So that was last week. The week before, it's been a while since I did a video because we had, last week with the snow day and then Thanksgiving break with my son home. I think it's been 3 weeks. I was sick during that 3 weeks. I had this cold that would not go away and just kept moving around. Oh, I'm in your nose. Oh, I'm in your brain. Oh, I'm back in your nose. Now I'm like in your chest. So that's finally mostly gone. I thought my husband was getting it for a while and then we just pass it around, but he only had a sore throat for a couple days. So that happened. And then this week I had to reschedule because I was sick. I had mentioned in my last video that I met a woman named Kathleen when I was in Joann's, who recognized me from my videos, and we were going to get together for coffee. Excuse me, and then I had canceled because I was sick. So we finally got together for coffee Wednesday. We talked and talked and talked and talked. It was so nice. It was so nice to have, you know, common interests with someone. I think we talked for like 2 hours, 2.5. I don't know. It was fabulous. We'll definitely have to do it again. So she gave me, it's adorable little gift bag. She gave me a couple little gifties. This is so cute, and she made this. I thought it was just a mitten decoration, but it's a needle book. So you can put them right in there. So this is adorable. And then she had mentioned when we met at Joann's that she uses this Karen Wildflowers. And they sell it on 123. It's not a pearl cotton, but it's a thicker one strand, if that makes sense. So I'm interested in trying this. It's very, I don't know if it's showing up, but it's beautifully variegated. And when you stitch on Aida, unless you're doing a really low count, I know what you're into. Stuff on the floor. It's hard to do over one, like it just doesn't cover. So I'm interested to try this because that would give you the benefit of only having to use one, well, you know, one floss instead of two. And sometimes things just lie nicer. Or so I've heard. I haven't been able to really try it. So I'm going to try it with that and see. So thank you very much, Kathleen. So I have a couple piles over here. I have a couple FFOs to show. Quite a few FFOs to show, actually. But they're buried. So we'll start with the whips. I finished a couple pieces that I don't even think I had started last time that I filmed. So those are with the finishes. So I've been working on Happy Christmas, Prairie Schooler. This is the one that Misty and I both had, and we were going to do Misty Purcell. And then a few other people on Instagram joined us. So Heather and Carla and Frankie. We all started in different spots. So it's been really cool. I told one of them, I said, if we combined ours, we'd be done. Because she'd done the bottom and I'd done the middle and Misty had done the top. So here's mine so far. So I'm doing mine on black, 16 count. I swapped out the red. I'm using 8/16 because I had found a piece of fabric that I think I want to use when I finish it, and the reds were a little brighter. So I just swapped that out. The green is everything else is the call for, actually. I had done my little squirrel in gray, but then you couldn't really see him, so I picked him out and put him back in red, which is what was called for. And then I was watching Jerry, Yankee Creek Stitcher. I started your video with coffee this morning. And she just found a copy. She said she'd been looking for it, and she found it on eBay for not too badly priced. So hopefully when she gets hers, she can join us too. I highly doubt I will get mine done in time for Christmas. Maybe. We'll see. Misty has talked to the Hoffman people. This is on their radar to reprint. They didn't give her a time frame, so don't spend an outrageous amount. It is coming at some point. So I've been working on that one. And then the other whip that I have going right now is Into the Jungle. I just started this week. I had finished up a couple things. I'm behind because I hadn't done November. So these little tapirs, I believe is how you pronounce it. That's November, and then the block under it will be December, and I'll be done. So these guys I should finish up probably tonight. Happy Christmas on that black. I have a hard time working on it at night, so I've been pulling out other things. Now, this is the block that had the hole from my scissors. So everyone gave me great advice. What I ended up doing, showing my backside, I just put a tiny little piece of interfacing. It was right under his nose. So I just ironed a little piece of really lightweight interfacing on there, and it was perfect. It was nice that it was under stitching. I didn't really know until the block came out, and it was just under where his little nose was. So that worked out really well. Next month, the last month, I think is another big cat. My son is hoping it's a panther. We'll see. It will be what it will be. And then I've been looking for a frame for this. A lot of mine, you know, I finished without glass or I Priscillify. But those tend to be the seasonal ones that I know won't be out year round to get dusty and dirty. That one probably will be out, so I think I'll do a straight frame. But I think I'll frame it. Guardians of Notre Dame, which I'm also behind on, which will get pulled out when this one is done. That one I want to have framed because I'd like a circular mat cut. So that one comes out tomorrow too, and that will be done. I don't know what either of them is doing for stitch-alongs next year. Brittany at Ingleside Imaginarium said that hers would be a little late because she's just busy doing other things. I say awesome to that because maybe I can catch up on some other things. And then Frosted Pumpkin probably will stay in the next week or so, what theirs is. I'm hoping I don't love it so that I can move on with my other plans. So finishes. The only one I have left that I haven't fully finished yet is, this was Misty's Luminous Fiber Arts. This is her Cardinal Noel. Now the green shows up here. This gave me a beast of a time trying to put a picture on Instagram because the green would wash out with the camera and the lights. So this is Cardinal Noel. I did outline the letters, I backstitched. Just to make them pop a little more. The Ada and the linens dyed, you know, they dye different, so this was a little light. And then I put some sparkle in the snowflakes and the little Christmas balls. I have a bunch of petite treasure braid that I got at a store that had overstock, so I just went through and picked some out that worked. So this one is on the plan to get finished today, and I believe I'm just going to do a pillow finish to put in my bowl. That's the plan for that. So FFOs, I pulled some stuff out yesterday. I had 2 ornaments that I finished that I can't share quite yet because they're for a swap. One was mine and one was Donna's. I said, you stitch it up, I'll finish it. So those are done. They came out great. And then at Thanksgiving, Donna gave me this little gnome. So I finished him up. I have no idea what pattern he's from. I should have asked her. I added the little bell. I had one just the right size, so I added that. I just put a little gray on the back. Oh, he looks a little wonky on the back. He hasn't been ironed down yet, so usually that kind of flattens him out. This is one of those, I know in another video I had mentioned those, the DMCs, the variegated DMCs with the low numbers. This is 67. So they came in a package. I think they're called color variations. The color doesn't vary enough for me. It takes way too long before it to change. The colorus I love. The color variations I don't like stitching with, but they make awesome cording. So I know that's not really focusing, but it has a nice variegation in it. So I use them for things like this. Now I wanted to mention, I'm keeping an eye on my time because you know how last time it like glitched and I caught it and I thought, oh, that's going to mess up my audio. It totally did. So I don't know what the deal is. I cleaned off a bunch of stuff from the camera, so maybe that won't happen again. So these little charms, I like to put the year charm on ones so I know what year they're on. I know some people put it like on the back. I just buy these little charms and I tie them right up on my cording. I got these 2018s on Amazon and it was like 100 of them for like $6. I have a bunch left. So if anyone needs some, I looked at them this morning and I have enough to send out like 5 sets of 6, a half dozen, and they would go right in an envelope. I could pop them right in the mail. So if you have things to finish that you, or just stitch it on the back, if you're interested, I'll put my email address in the description box. Let me know. The first 5 people who say, hey, I'd like to have some of those charms, and I'll get them out so that you can put them on yours, because it's not like I'm going to use them next year. I'm going to need 2019 charms. So that is done. The sled ornaments. This one I finished while I was waiting to shoot my video. This is an actual ornament from one of her charts, and I didn't bring it down because it's all filed away, because I've been working off a working copy that has been all over the country jammed in a bag, because I've been doing these all year. So these are one of those little sleds. There's my little charm. So they're all done. They're all on, and I used stitchery tape. I asked people what they used, and people said glue, and people said stitchery tape. Amazon had enough stitchery tape to potentially last me the rest of my life, for like 15 bucks, free shipping. So I have that. I just need to put the little stuffs up in the corner, and they'll be done. I have 2 done, 10 more to go, and they'll be done. And then hopefully next year we're trying to figure, and I think we have it, an ornament that will be a little quicker, because I make them for the teachers and a lot of different people. So I want something that's still nice and pretty, but execution wise saves me some time. So that is done. I don't think I had even started this one last video. So this is my version of the, there's my glitch. Hold please. All right, let's see if we got it. This is the Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's List. Priscilla and Chelsea did this as a stitch along. I had to wait a long time for my chart because they were kind of, where did I get it from? Cottage Needle? I think I got it from Cottage Needle, and her first shipment, I pre-ordered, but her first shipment just wasn't enough. So they got some more, but it's really, really quick stitch. So mine is on gingerbread. Picture this plush gingerbread. I had to change the colors up just a little because they're kind of a brighter red and a brighter green, and they didn't work on this darker fabric. But the white looks awesome. So I don't even know what I used. I just pulled, that might be Buckeye Scarlet. I have no idea. I just pulled some out. I should have filmed, because I've had people ask when I actually did the finishing, but I'm just not set up to do that. So I really just kind of fold the corners in, and I use hot glue, and I just glue them down. And there's my little magnets. These are the ones, I get mine on Amazon. I know they do sell them at Home Depot, but they're like a 6-pack, and I need more than 6. And then I put the rickrack. I ended up taking, I've never done one with rickrack. I've done pom-pom, which is great because you can go right around the corner. The rickrack doesn't work that way. So I ended up taking the trim, cutting it to size, gluing the trim to the breadboard. Like I'd set this on, get it where I need it, glue it down, and then do the next strip because it's 4 separate strips. And then I just glued the top one on. So this fits right on my stand. It's a little short, like I could probably use a bow or something on there, but I just center it and call it good. In the future, if it's bothering me, I'll put a bow on there. But for now, that's been behind me, so I pulled that down. I did put most of my Christmas stuff up. I'll do a little walkthrough of what I have, but probably not today. I had a lot of other stuff. So I had finished Lizzie Kate Christmas ABCs. I didn't really have a plan for it this year because I honestly didn't think it would stitch up that quick. So I thought if I could just put it in a white frame for this year, it would be fine. I cannot find white frames that have a little texture on them. You know, they're all just solid. I have one, And it's the one I usually put my seasonal chalkboard pieces from Priscilla and Kathy, the ones that were in the magazines. And I had the Christmas one that I had done last year, and I thought, well, if I could take that out of the frame and put it somewhere else, then I could put this in the frame. So that's what I did. So this, and this frame, see, it just has a little extra. So this is an 11 by 14 frame. It probably is not its final resting place, but this way I got it up for this year. So it's in there with no glass. It's on that sparkly pansy. It's ghettoed in there. I didn't want to do anything with it because I knew it might go somewhere else. So I just did a very simple lace. And then I had some of these little clips that you just screw in there to hold it in. So that will do for now. So the piece I had on there got a much fancier job than that one did. And I've already posted this on Instagram, so I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. So this one is completely Priscilla. And it's big. Priscilla had this wooden piece. I think she put Lantern Lane on it last year. There's the piece. So I pulled it out. I pulled it right off the sticky board. Right off. No problems. Cut the sticky board down. Put it back on the sticky board. No problems. And then I cut a bigger piece and put the red on. I said on my Instagram that I MacGyvered this on here, and I was not joking. These picks, first of all the glitter picks is what's left at Joann's. I had to go through everything to find non-glitter picks. They're on a paint stick. They're on a paint stick because they needed a little support. There's some magnets, but the magnets weren't enough because it was kind of heavy. So I just used some pipe cleaners. It's on there, it's not going anywhere. This bottom piece, a little magnet did kind of hold that because it's setting right down. So this one I love. I found a great spot for it. This piece came from Joann's too. It's an ornament. Now I need to find other things. Oh, and the bow. I made my own bow. I watched a little video, I think it was from Michael's, and they were not that bad. That was my second try. So I was quite impressed with my bow making skills. But now I need to find other pieces to put on there because now that I have a good spot for it in the house, I'm gonna want it out all the time. I have some thoughts of when I picked it up last year at Hobby Lobby, the big piece, I bought a couple charts over the course of the year that I thought would work for that. I just didn't get to them. So maybe next year I'll get to them. So that is my FFOs. I was pretty busy. I'll be busy making more sleds today and finishing Misty's. And Donna had one more ornament that she finished for her mother-in-law that she's gonna drop off with my husband because he's kind of, where he works is like midway. So she's gonna be in town today and drop that off with him and bring it down, and then I'll finish that for her and we'll see each other next week, so she'll have it in time. So I have another stack. These are, I had a few things come in the mail, and I have a few purchases. That's what's in this pile. Not all these are purchases, some are plans. I have something to discuss. So a couple cards came. I got this cute little pumpkin. This is from Jen Grimes, Spooner Rooney Stitcher on Instagram. So just a little Halloween card that came. That was very cute. Olivia, who is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Her quilts are amazing. Her quilting, they're not all quilts, her projects. She won one of my giveaways, so she sent me a little Thanksgiving card and a skein. This is that Coloris. So it's the different colors. These have the higher numbers. This is 4042. These ones I love because the color changes more quickly. They're not like those ones with the low numbers. So thank you, Olivia. On my last video, I had asked if anyone had the Snow Globe or Halloween Bent Creek mantle. And Crystal messaged me and said, I have the snow globe, I'll switch with you. So we did. It's in like 3 packages, right? Because that's how they come. So this is the snow globe, which I love. I like snow globe and snow stuff because I can leave it up all winter, and for us winter is through like April, because the Christmas stuff goes up for a little bit and then it comes down. So we just switched the charts. That's all I had because mine had come off stash unload. This one, when you actually look at the chart, it's DMC. You know, some of them are in a they're almost in a pearl cotton, I think. But this one is straight DMC, so it will be very easy to just kit it up myself. And it's not that big. It's 189 by 69. And then she also sent some Mose floss. And I told her, I opened the package and I had the distinctive smell of Mose sale, which is either, it's like a Tide, I don't know what it is, but if you've ever bought Mose sale, you know that smell. So these are very pretty too. This blue especially. The purple. So thank you, Crystal. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to have to go in my plans for next year. Probably next winter. I had one score on eBay. I have been keeping an eye out for this chart since Kathy Haberman showed some finishes she had done, and she did this little turkey and they finished it. She just did him, not the extra stuff, and they put little legs on it, and it just a shelf sitter, and it's adorable. It's part of a kit, and again, I'm not going to use all the stuff in the kit. I just want the chart. I stole them right out from under someone. I'm sorry if it was you, because I snuck it with my bid, because it was this one. This one. There's another glitch. I'm gonna have to figure out these glitches. This one, which I really love for like patriotic stuff. And then another of the little small ones. So that, and they were like $15 for all 4. So that was a great deal. And then Misty had shown, she did that little Santa. So the last 1, 2, 3 stitch order, I tossed this one on. And I have to say, I've heard people complain about the reprints, the Prairie Schooler reprints. Evergreen that I did was a reprint. I have another one here that's a reprint, and they were fine. This one in particular, like the pattern you can see, but the grid lines that the pattern is on are so faint. I like to make a working copy so I can keep this one kind of nice. I'm going to have to like scan it in and darken it. Or should I say the hubs is going to have to scan it in and darken it because I can't see it. So this will come into play next year. I'll talk about that in just a minute. I love all of those. And last piece of haul that came in, speaking of Misty, she posted some new fabrics. I believe these were her last fabrics of the year. So hopefully she'll be busy over her break and have a great big update in the spring. Both of mine are 16 Aida. This is Midnight. It's like a bluish, it's like a navy, like a blackish navy. It's probably going to look purple. This is the one that she's doing Happy Christmas on, and it looks fantastic. So I have another piece on black that I wanted this for. So that's the plan for that. And then this was a new color she had just added called Faded Denim. You know me in blue and my winter stitching, so I had to pick up a piece of this. I may use this for button up. I haven't pulled the colors to see if the white, if I'm going to stitch all that white, it's going to show up. So this might be a smidge light. We'll see. So that was the haul that came in and the gifts. Plans. Button up sale. Coming up. Christmas Day. I need to figure out my fabric. I have another blue that's like a gray blue that I'm wondering if I did that, if I could leave this out. Some of these have like a background. So, to be determined. I still have a month before I need to figure that one out. See all these schoolers? A little while ago, a couple weeks ago, Barbie, Pedal Pusher on Instagram and Flosstube, messaged Misty and I, and she said, I know you guys both love Prairie Schooler charts, and I have a bunch. I haven't stitched one yet. What do you say we do a Prairie Schooler stitch along next year? So we're going to start a Prairie Schooler once a month at any time during the month. It doesn't have to be on the first, whenever, once a month. It doesn't have to be a big one. And most of mine honestly will not, because I have other plans for next year. So I went through, I'll be doing a lot of ornaments, which is great because other than those sleds, I didn't really make any ornaments for myself this year. I was too busy making other things. So a lot of these little ones on the chart that needs to be darkened, I'm hoping to get to. I have Santa Rides, Kris Kringle, like there's a bunch of others that a lot of mine will be ornaments. So I went through the charts that I did have and looked at what big ones would I like to do. So the plan with the big ones for me is when I finish a big Prairie Schooler, like when I finish Happy Christmas, when I finish Button Up, I can start another big one. So there won't be a ton of them going at once. So this one is a definite. This is weather-wise, and I'll be doing this top piece. I may New Englandify the houses. I may go straight with what they called for. We'll see. But that one is a definite for me. The other definite for me, and this is in plastic, so maybe glary, this is Harvest Time, and I'll be doing that one. This is a reprint. The grid lines are perfectly fine, so don't worry. I don't know if they're all like that, but my copy is perfectly fine. And then I have 3 Christmas ones. I'd like to start at least one of them. We'll see. So this is Santa's Night. This is the one I was thinking that dark fabric for. It's a big one, but when you really look at it, it's a lot of words, like it's not solid. And I adore this one with the little reindeer in the sleigh. That one, I have Christmas Eve. This has been reprinted. Santa's Night has not. This one has. I love this one. Misty did this one. It's on like an easel that I have and have yet to put anything on. So I love this one. And then the other one is Christmas Tree Farm. This one, someone mentioned on Instagram, and then I saw it on the page. This is the latest re-release. Probably today. I think it was dated, usually it's Fridays when they re-release stuff from Hoffman. So this one will be available as a re-release anytime. Misty might even put some in her shop, as she tends to do. So this one will be out. So one of those. Start with one of those. And I had a couple other Halloween ones too. Actually, it's right here. This is the other one that I was considering. Cats, Bats, and Witches. I need to do the math to see if any of these really, well no, not the Christmas ones, if this would fit in that same enamel tray that I put Evergreen in, and I could use that for Halloween. So, Prairie Schooler Stitch Along. Join us! I think we'll have a hashtag. I don't know what it will be yet, but it's not January yet, so we don't need to worry about it. Like I said, a lot of mine will be small, so don't feel like, you're gonna be over your head if you start in. Jerry, actually, when I was watching your video, and I didn't get all the way through yet, but you bought a pack of ornaments and said you'd like to stitch one a month. Great. Join us. Go through your chart, see what you have. Other things, 2 pages of notes again because it was so long. Frugal Yankee Retreat. Lynette, Homesteading on the Homefront, announced, I think 2 videos ago. I'll put a link to her video below because she had all the details. We are getting together March 29th, 30th, and 31st in Westford, Massachusetts at a Residence Inn. We're calling it the Frugal Retreat because really all you have to pay for is your room. There's no conference center there. What we'll do is we have been given permission to take over the common areas. They put on a breakfast, so when breakfast is picked up, we can take over that space. It's a residence inn, so all the rooms are like suites. I think they do have some single rooms, but they have like a kitchen. Donna and I are staying with our friend Beth and hopefully Beth's daughter in a 2-room suite. So there's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a living room. So there's all kinds of like little spots to sit and stitch while you're waiting for the open space. In the evenings, you know, we have space. We are planning on doing a smalls exchange, so I'll be working on something for that. And just kind of, it'll be nice and small and low key, and we'll actually be able to talk to each other and kind of meet everyone. And for some of us who are a little more introverted, it won't be quite as scary. So we're reserved, we're ready to go. I was making, I went through my fabric one day and I was like, I have so much fabric, I need to clear some of this out. So I had started to make some project bags that I was actually thinking of just selling on like Instagram. Like I wasn't gonna make a ton, you know, I was gonna make like 10 bags. And I started them, and then life, so they're not done yet. But Lynette said, you know, if you sell things, bring them to the retreat. We can sell them there. So if I don't get them done, because naturally all the fabrics I picked out were Christmas fabrics, they might be there in March. So I'll link her below because she had all the details. And then my 1-year Flosstiversary is coming right up. It's later in December. So I'm hoping in a next video, I need to get one of those bags done and then I can give that away. Thank you. 1 year. That's probably another reason why it felt like it went so fast, because I don't believe I've been doing these a year. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. It's been so much fun. Making the videos isn't exactly fun. Posting the videos is definitely not fun. But talking with everyone afterwards is fun. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed and commented, and I've gotten to know. I'm way behind on watching my videos again. We were busy, you know, sometimes I can fit one in like at lunch and I've been too busy. And then my husband got a new video game that needs the TV, so he's been using that at night. I could watch downstairs, but it's cold down here and I don't want to. So sometimes I watch like on my phone. They're so tiny. We glitched again. We just glitched like 2 more times. So obviously that's like the phone telling me to wrap this up. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Bye guys.